Hello, listeners. Here's another special episode of Lateral Thinking Puzzles. These are puzzles where one of us describes a strange-sounding situation and the other has to work out what's going on, asking only yes or no questions.
And thanks so much to everyone who's been sending in puzzles to us. We're always glad to get them, so please keep sending them to podcast@futilitycloset.com.
We'll be off next week, but we'll be back on May 15th with our usual mix of quirky stories and a new puzzle.
This puzzle comes from Dave Lawrence. In her work, my friend doubles the number of people she sees every day. What does she do?
Okay. I guess this is true.
Yes.
Number of people she sees.
Yes.
Meaning not that she meets, but that she visually perceives? Well, let me turn that around.
Yeah, ask that more simple.
It sounds superficially like
Right.
he's saying that she encounters actual living people.
Uh-huh.
And then that number doubles
Okay.
successively. I'm guessing that's not the case.
Okay. I will say no to that whole sentence with every part of it added in.
Okay. He said the number of people she sees doubles every...
My friend doubles the number of people she sees every day.
That sounds careful. Doubles the number of people she sees every day. All right, but I'm asking, so if you changed the... Well, let me try it.
Okay.
Would you say that she doubles the number of people that she meets?
Yes.
You would say that?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not sees. Sees isn't the trick here.
Right.
Doubles the number of people that she meets every day. And this is related to her job?
Yes.
And by people is meant people, actual other human beings?
People is meant people.
His friend is a human being?
His friend is a human being.
And this would continue indefinitely? That's impossible. Would you say that?
With the way it's worded, yes, I'll say this continues indefinitely.
Doubles the number of people that she meets.
Uh-huh.
Doubles the number, meaning double the number that she reports that she meets?
No.
She actually meets twice as many people each day. So on the first day, if she met one person, then two, then four, and so on?
No.
Okay. Doubles the number of people. Doubles the number. Meaning, can I assume for the sake of the discussion that she meets one person on the first day? Is that a crazy way to go about this?
I wouldn't say she only meets one person on the first day.
Do you know the numbers?
No. But she's unlikely to meet only one person in a day.
Doubles the number of people. This is for her job.
Yes.
Okay, but it won't help me to pursue the actual numbers.
No, it won't help you to pursue the actual numbers, except that I won't agree to the number one.
Oh, she sees double.
No, that's clever, though.
So then if any number of people you met,
Right.
she doubles the number that she sees every day.
That's very clever.
But that's not it.
She doesn't see double, but she does double whatever number of people she meets. She doubles them every day. But she doesn't see double. But that's clever. That's an interesting way to...
Doubles the number, meaning she perceives twice as many as the actual number?
No.
That she reports twice as many as the actual number?
No.
Is this turn on some meaning of the word number? Like number doesn't refer to the...
No.
So when you say the number of people, you mean the actual quantity
number
of people that
yes.
she encounters?
Yes.
My friend doubles
Yes. The quantity
of people whom she meets
Yes.
every day.
Yes.
Oh, meaning she creates twice as many?
Yes.
So she encounters a certain number of people and then
Yes.
produces twice that quantity.
Yes.
Is this something in medicine?
Yes.
She creates twice as many people as she meets.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't create, she helps in the production, let's say.
Oh, she said like an obstetrician.
Yeah, she's a midwife. Dave says, my friend is a midwife. Each mom generally has one baby, doubling the people she sees. And Dave also thought that his wording might be a little tricky, but said, who said these puzzles are fair? At least nobody dies.
Quite the opposite. This is from listener Michael Berman. On February 8th, Lee, a new father, is telling a friend about his beautiful 2-year-old daughter. The friend asks when she was born, and Lee replies, yesterday. Lee is not lying. What's going on?
You said specifically on February 8th. Is
Yes.
that important?
Not particularly.
Oh, wow. I thought that was going to be a big clue. Okay. His daughter is 2 years old, but was born yesterday.
Yes.
Would you agree to all that?
Yes.
His daughter is a human infant girl?
Yes.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with like eggs that were frozen or embryos that were frozen?
No, good guess though.
His daughter is 2 years old. Does that mean that his daughter has celebrated 2 birthdays?
I'll say no.
Okay. But was born yesterday. Okay. Trying to figure out where to start on here. For the born yesterday, does that mean the day before yesterday she was still in her mother's womb?
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday you would say her mother delivered her.
Yes.
Like delivered a baby yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, does it matter the means of the delivering of the baby?
No.
So the question is, if you saw the baby, would the baby appear to be 1 day old?
Yes.
The size of a 1 day infant?
Yes.
Okay. So the question is, why does he say the daughter is 2 years old? Are they all on Earth?
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you could go with this.
So it's Earth years we're talking about here. Why would you say the daughter is 2 years old? Would you say that she was conceived roughly 9 months previous?
Yes.
Conceived, like the cells started dividing
Yes.
to make this baby about 9 months previous.
That's right.
So in what sense is she 2 years old? That's okay. How does he say it again?
Lee, a new father, is telling a friend about his beautiful 2-year-old daughter. The friend asks when she was born, and Lee replies, yesterday.
His beautiful 2-year-old daughter. Oh, are they talking about 2 different girls?
No.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. I hadn't thought about that.
Like they're just talking about 2 different children. I thought I had it. Okay. His beautiful 2-year-old daughter, which is the same as this 1 day old baby,
Yes.
is the same individual.
Same, yes, person.
And why would you say she's 2 years old? There's got to be some other meaning of 2 years old that I'm not thinking of.
Pursue that, yeah.
What could be a meaning of 2 years old? Okay. When you say 2 years, you mean the Earth has traveled around the sun 2 full orbits.
No.
You have some other meaning for 2 years.
For 2 years old.
For 2 years old. Does it have anything to do with the number 2?
Not really, no.
Okay. So it has something to do with years old? 2 years old.
Yes.
Is that her name somehow?
No. Touche, no.
Okay, when you say years, are you referring to a period of time? When you say
Yes, but that's only going to confuse things.
when
I
you
think.
say old, are you referring to how long something has been alive?
Yes.
So when you say 2 years old, you don't mean something has been alive for 2 years. You mean something else.
I'm trying to think of a
2-year-old daughter. How can you and when you say talking about his beautiful 2-year-old, that's the baby, right?
Right.
The baby that appears to be 1 day old. Okay, I keep getting stuck on they're talking about something else that's 2 years old. His beautiful 2-year-old daughter.
Lee's name is spelled L-I.
Okay, so this has something to do with they're not of American culture.
That's right.
And that's germane somehow?
Yes.
Okay. Does it matter? Are they in another country?
Yes.
Does it matter which country? Is it
Yes.
an Asian country?
Yes.
Japan?
No.
China?
Yes.
Okay. So this is something to do with Chinese culture or how Chinese talk about their children or phrases they use and what they actually mean?
Yes.
So what in China do you mean when you say a 2-year-old daughter? Do you mean something different than you might mean in America?
Yes.
The name is 2 years old? Like they came up with the name 2 years ago? The name for the
I
daughter?
see.
Like
No.
the concept of having a daughter? Like they decided 2 years ago to have a daughter? Or?
You're most of the way there,
Okay,
and I won't make you guess the whole thing.
It's just what in China do you mean by 2-year-old?
Yes.
2-year-old is an adjective rather than a noun?
Yes.
Or could it be used either way? Or does it have to be used as an adjective?
I suppose it could be used either way.
Okay, so...
It comes down to how they reckon birthdays.
But you said she was conceived 9 months ago.
Yes, she was.
Oh, is it have to be that it's... She was conceived in 1 year and it's now a different year? Like, so there's been 2 years somehow? I'm not getting
You're close enough that I'll just give it to you. Michael writes, the answer is in how the traditional Chinese calendar measures age. There are 2 factors in play. Babies are considered to be 1 year old at birth, and one's age increases not on one's birthday, but at the Chinese New Year. So Lee's daughter must have been born in a year in which the Chinese New Year falls on February 8th. So she was born chronologically yesterday, but was 1 year old as soon as she was born, traditionally. And then she advances a year on the New Year, which is today.
Is that really how they reckon ages? Because then, like, so in China, if they say a child is 3 years old, normally in the U.S. we might consider that child to be 2?
According, as I understand it, according to the traditional system, and I don't know how widely that's observed today.
Wow.
But that's how Michael says that's traditionally how it was done.
This puzzle comes from Sloane and MacHale's Ingenious Lateral Thinking Puzzles. And I've adapted it slightly. 2 men were sitting in a crowded restaurant. A woman who was a total stranger to both of them walked in and told them her job. She said nothing more, and they said nothing but looked very embarrassed. What was going on?
Wow. Told them her job.
Yes.
Named
her occupation.
Embarrassed. Okay, do I need to know more about that? You said it's a restaurant they're in?
Yes.
Do I need to know more about that, the kind of restaurant it was?
No.
That wasn't the source of their embarrassment.
Correct.
Do I need to know their occupations?
No.
Or their relationship?
No.
Is anyone else involved besides those 3 people?
No.
Is the time period important?
No.
Is the location important?
No.
Lots of no's.
We've narrowed it down.
Would this have worked if there were only one man? Does it matter that there were 2?
It would not have worked if there was only one man.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What a weird... All right. So she comes in and tells them both her occupation.
Yes.
And they're embarrassed.
Yes.
But not because of the nature of the restaurant.
Right.
Is she in law enforcement in any way?
No.
Are they embarrassed because they think they've been caught doing something wrong or embarrassing? They're in an embarrassing situation? Is that it?
I'm not sure. Can you reframe the question?
Well, that's why I asked about the
sure what you
restaurant. I'm trying to figure out the source of their embarrassment.
Right.
In telling them her job.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to figure out why they're embarrassed.
Yeah.
Okay. They wouldn't work with one man.
Right.
But the relationship between the men isn't important.
That's correct.
Do I need to know more about what they were doing besides just sitting in the restaurant?
Yeah. I suppose.
Eating?
They may have been. It's irrelevant.
Embarrassed. Is this connected with religion in any way?
Nope.
They're not embarrassed at having been caught out or caught doing something they shouldn't have been doing?
I would say that's correct.
It's correct that they...
This is where we need the special words in English. I would not characterize the nature of their embarrassment as that they were caught out doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. I think the way I think you mean it. This is always tricky.
Yeah.
Guessing at what you probably mean, but...
Okay. And I'm trying to think even how to approach this. Does she have to be a woman? Would this have worked if she were a man?
If you changed some other variables, yes. I mean, there could have been a similar situation, not exactly the same, but yeah, I'll say yes.
Is this connected with the media in some way? Is she telling
No.
them that their activities are being made public in some way?
No, but that's a good guess, but no.
Are these people's specific identities important? I mean,
No.
they're not. Is this true? Did it happen to real people?
No,
You said location isn't important.
that's correct.
Embarrassed. See, there's two. I know I'm going in circles here. There's two
Yeah.
men. It wouldn't work
Yes.
with one, but there aren't other people involved. Their
Right.
relationship isn't important.
Now, it could have worked with 3 or 4 men or 5 or more, but not with just one. There needed to have been multiple people for this situation to have happened.
Is the reason they're embarrassed connected to the fact that she's a woman and they're men?
No.
Could a man have done her job?
Yes. If she had a different job, they wouldn't have been embarrassed. This whole situation wouldn't have happened.
Is the source of their embarrassment immediate? Is it something to do with their immediate situation, or or connected with something remote in time, or?
I would say more immediate than remote in time.
So, does this have to be a restaurant? I mean, could it have happened elsewhere?
It could have happened elsewhere.
Like in a bank? I mean, they were just two men in some public establishment who
Yes.
she approaches
Yes.
and tells them her job.
Her occupation, yeah. Yeah. What the men were doing immediately before she approached them was relevant. And that's why you needed multiple, and this couldn't have been something that one person it would make a lot of sense for them to be doing on their own.
Does it have to do with language? Like she was able to understand something they were saying that other people couldn't?
I'll say yes, that's close.
She overheard something?
No.
Does she work in the restaurant?
No.
Do I need to know more about that? Where she came from? Was she another diner? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
She was actually, according to the setup of the puzzle, she was passing by outside the restaurant.
And she heard them,
No.
saw something,
Yes.
saw something they were doing together.
Yes.
Is it connected with the bill, with some business within the restaurant?
No. This didn't need to be in a restaurant.
Were they doing something illegal?
No.
She saw them doing something. You said connected with language?
Yes.
Writing something?
No. And you said that something that, not everybody would have been able to understand. She saw them doing something connected with language that relates to her occupation, and not everybody would have been able to have done this.
Well, let me get this down. You said
Yeah.
not writing, reading
Right.
something?
No. You have to think creatively here about they were doing something involving language and she saw it rather than overheard it. But not everybody could have done this. And that's why they were embarrassed, because they didn't imagine anybody would be able to do this.
Connected with language. It's not reading or writing.
Right. And it relates to her occupation, her having skills that other people don't have because of her occupation.
She's bilingual. She's multilingual.
No.
She's conversant with some language that they thought other people wouldn't be.
No, because remember the setup is she was passing outside the restaurant, actually, and she saw them. But you're on the right track.
What can you do with language besides read, write, interpret, speak?
Right, yeah. They were speaking.
They were speaking in another language.
No.
They were speaking in
the language, let's say everybody was speaking in.
Speaking with each other.
Yes.
In some language. That's why it has to be two men.
Yes. And she was passing by outside.
But didn't hear them.
Correct. She saw them.
Are they using sign language?
No. I suppose they could have been. That would work for the puzzle. In this specific puzzle, though. Because it relates to her job.
They were speaking in a language
Yes.
with one another.
Yes.
In a language that she understood.
Yes.
But she
saw them.
But you say that could equally well be a language that everyone there was speaking.
Yes. And they thought they'd be safe because she was outside the restaurant and they were in it.
Lip reading.
That's right. She's a lip reader. That's her occupation. And they were saying offensive things about her.
About her. Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, according to the puzzle, they were speculating about what her occupation might be in offensive kinds of ways.
Okay.
And then she walks in and tells them that she's actually a lip reader, that actually is her occupation, and they just don't say anything.
That's good. That's clever.
This episode is brought to you by our patrons and by Harry's. Jeff and Andy are two ordinary guys who were fed up with getting ripped off when buying razors, so they started Harry's to fix shaving. They bought their own blade factory to ensure quality, and now, by taking less profit and selling directly to you over the internet, Harry's offers their blades at half the price. So that's just $2 a blade compared to the $4 or more you'll pay at the drugstore.
Harry's has sent me some of the razors to try, and I've been impressed with their quality. Their blades really do give a close, smooth, comfortable shave, and you can't beat the convenience. They ship them right to your door.
Harry's is so confident that you'll love their blades, they're giving you their trial set for free. Just cover $3 shipping. Your free trial set includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision-engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. That's a $13 value for you to try.
Stop messing around and get started shaving with Harry's today by claiming your free trial offer, a $13 value for free. You just cover shipping. To get your free trial set, including a razor handle, a 5-blade cartridge, and shave gel, go to harrys.com/closet right now. That's harrys.com/closet. This is from listener Paul Sophocleous. A man watched a TV show, and as a result, he died. Later, the man's widow wrote to the stars of the show to thank them. Why?
Oh. Huh. Okay. Watched a TV show and as a result he died. Would you say that he took his own life?
No.
Would you say that he allowed his life to be terminated?
No.
Okay. As a result he died. Did he take some action after watching the TV show that I need to figure out?
I think I'll say yes.
Okay.
That's not quite how I'd put it, but yeah.
Okay. See, I'm imagining, did he have some condition or specific situation that I need to work out?
I will say no.
Okay. Did it matter where this happened?
No.
No. Time period important?
No.
Do I need to guess what kind of TV show it was?
Yes, that would help.
Oh, that really would help. Okay. Would you say it was a fictional TV show, like either a sitcom or a drama, like with stories, fictional stories?
I think I'd have to say yes.
You think you'd have to say yes. Okay. Was it a TV show that would have appeared regularly, like it would normally come out once a week or something like that?
Yes.
Yes. Was it a sitcom?
Yes, it was a British television comedy.
Okay. Do I need to know more than that?
No, you don't.
It wasn't Monty Python, was
No,
it? Okay.
no, you
That's
don't.
the only one I know.
I'll tell you at the end, but you don't have to know
Okay.
which one it was.
Okay, so he watched a British television comedy and then died.
Yes.
Okay. Did he die laughing?
Yes, he did.
Are you serious? He died laughing?
In 1975, Norfolk bricklayer Alex Mitchell laughed so hard at the British television comedy The Goodies that he died of heart failure. Mitchell laughed for 25 minutes after watching a martial arts sketch in which Tim Brooke Taylor, dressed as a Scotsman, used a set of bagpipes to defend himself from Bill Oddie wielding a black pudding. His wife wrote to the stars to thank them for making his last moments so enjoyable.
This puzzle comes from Noah Kurland. An entertainer shot to fame after releasing the best-selling comedy album in American history. Previously an unknown comic from the sticks, he was suddenly playing to packed houses in Las Vegas and appearing frequently on primetime TV. This lasted for about a year and then abruptly ended. Within a single 24-hour span, his records were pulled from shelves nationwide, his nightclub bookings were canceled, and TV spots that he had recorded were never aired. In some cases, the tapes were physically destroyed.
Good Lord.
What caused his swift and utter banishment from show business?
I assume this is true?
This is definitely true.
And you said it's the United States?
The United States, yes.
Would it help me to work out when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. All I know is that it happened in the United States. Did it happen in the 20th century?
Yes, because he appeared frequently on primetime TV. That's
good.
a clue.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The primetime TV. So did they happen after 1960?
Yes.
And this all happened, you said, in the space of a year-ish?
Yeah.
After 1960?
Yes.
After 1980?
No.
Was it in the 1970s?
No.
Okay, so the 60s sometime.
Yes.
Somebody got sort of blackballed as a comic. Was it because... Okay. But you say that's important for me to know, that it was during the 60s.
Yes.
Was he, however you want to put it, banished because of something he said?
Not specifically, no.
Because of who he was?
No.
Would you say this... Are there other people involved that I need to know about?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Was he part of a team?
No.
Not
I mean,
performing.
he might have worked as part of a team for some of his
But
routines,
that wasn't
but that's
it.
not it. Yeah.
There's one other person involved?
I'd say there's one other person that's very relevant to the story.
Okay. And this is a comic someone I've heard of. Whose name I've heard of.
I don't know if you have or haven't. I had not heard of him.
Oh, all right. That might help.
I don't know that many comics from the 60s, so...
Okay. All right, so this person was doing great.
Yes.
And then had an interaction with this other person, would you say?
He did not.
Did he ever have an interaction with this other person?
Not that I know of.
Did he say something? I mean, there's something to do with their relationship or
No.
something connecting the two of them that led to his downfall?
That's very broad, something connecting the two of them.
Well, what I have in mind is he said something about this person or
No.
offended America by... That's not it.
Not exactly. No, that's not really the right track. But it did have something to do with what happened to another person in the 60s.
In the United States.
In the United States.
Man, there's a lot going on in the 60s in the United States.
I know.
Is the other person famous, well-known,
Yes.
something I would have heard of?
Yes, definitely.
An entertainer?
No.
A politician?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a comic and a politician.
Yes.
But it's not that the comic says something about the politician, which is what comics tend to do.
Right, yeah. It's not really that.
Does this have anything to do with identity? Like he was aping or pretending to be or declaring that he was this politician?
Not quite. That's kind of close, though.
Okay. The comic's identity, claimed identity.
Not claimed identity, but something kind of close to that.
Was he a impressionist?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I wonder if I've heard of this. So an impressionist shot to fame,
Yes.
and I guess did an impression of this politician?
Yes.
And that brought him down. It was
No. That's not exactly what brought him down.
Okay,
no.
so he was famous, among other things, for doing an impression of this
He
politician.
was famous specifically for doing an impression of this politician.
Was the politician the president?
Yes.
Wow. Johnson?
No.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Okay, so you got a comic who's known for doing impressions of John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
And then something happens and he falls from grace. Is that how you put it?
Yes.
Something like it?
Yes.
Was he okay, when he did this, whatever it was it part of his act?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't...
But it's not something that he did specifically.
But he fell from the public's good opinion.
That's not exactly it. It's not so much something he did.
Is it something the president did?
You could say that in a way.
Was he... All right, that's probably not it. Was he associated with Kennedy in some way? Does this have to do with Kennedy's assassination?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so was it... But it wasn't part of his act. It's not that he was somehow mimicking or making fun of the assassination in his act and people thought that was a terrible thing to do.
Right, he did not. He impersonated Kennedy, though. That was his act. So, and then Kennedy got assassinated.
And so he had no one to impersonate anymore because Kennedy was out of office?
Well, no, it was just considered in very bad taste to
keep
be
doing
impersonating.
Wow.
Yeah, so Noah wrote, in 1962, Von Meter gained notoriety for his comedic impression of John F. Kennedy. He built an entire act around this impression, and he was in high demand for most of 1963. As soon as Kennedy was assassinated, Meter's shtick was rendered not just obsolete, but taboo.
Yeah.
He tried to revive his career as a conventional comedian, but he was so typecast that nobody would hire him. And I read about this a bit, and it was just what Noah said. He just absolutely shot to fame and fortune in his 20s. I mean, hugely famous. only to have it completely yanked out from under him about a year later. On Wikipedia, it says, according to several sources, stand-up comedian Lenny Bruce went on with his November 22nd nightclub show as scheduled. Just hours after Kennedy's death, Bruce walked on stage, stood silently for several moments, and then said sadly, "Boy, is Von Meter bleeped." Which was true. So thanks so much to Noah for that puzzle, in which I guess, unfortunately, somebody did die.
Yes.
And if you have a puzzle you'd like to send in for us to try, please send it to us at podcast@futilitycloset.com.